everyone. Thank you for tuning into the JPI's fundraising live stream. This is a quick reminder for you to click the link in our description box below and donate to our COVID 19 crowdfunding campaign in association with Give India, Uplift, and Ujala Foundation. Moving on, today we're joined by Mr. Varun Bhasni, a photographer and a man of the armed forces, revered for his service to our country, while simultaneously making his name as a renowned photographer, capturing everything from army to fashion to really just anything that comes to your mind. We're honored to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, so we'll get started with our first question. So, being a man in the army and pursuing a career in photography, how do you balance your responsibilities in the military and your career in photography?
Okay, like I warned you before, a lot of philosophy might come from it. So be very careful in understanding me. Be subjective about what I say. So it's a good question for not just me, for everybody. I'm not the only one who's balancing life, multiple lives, and multiple. You guys are doing a far better job than I can ever do. You're balancing your school with your education, with your parents' pressure of what they want you to be, your desires, what you want to be, and then coming into photography, taking out time in the evening, doing what you're doing. So it's in the same statement, it's the easiest and the toughest thing to do. So what I do to answer specifically is whatever the shoots that I have, I divide them into months. Like if I have to shoot say 4 weddings and 2 fashion and 1 army shoot, so then I allocate schedules for them. First half of the year is for for army and shoots related to the armed forces, if it's film or something, because there I can get my own time, I can push my own way. When it's wedding season, then I select only few weddings, like 4 weddings or 5 weddings, which I have to do, which I pick out and choose, and then I keep it for the later part of the year. Middle portion is for myself, where I want to just travel, spend time with the family, and then do my own projects, like the one which we are doing right here in Mau now. We're beginning to shoot a documentary on the history of Mau, which will probably get sanctioned in the next couple of weeks. And in terms of edit, I go to office in the morning at what 8:39, come back by 3:30, an hour of rest, which is basically my son jumping on my chest. And then the evening starts with editing all those thousands of pictures, and which goes on till late in the night. So effectively, but this schedule is not important. What's important is, which I think which you should know, that if you have found something which you think is taking away a lot of your time and you're not feeling tired at the end of the day, stick to it. Schedule ban jata hai.
That was a very beautiful answer. So, our next question is, how do you feel one can take their existing career or profession and merge it with photography or art, similar to what you did while creating the films you did for the Indian Armed Forces?
So again, Nomsta, it's it's really an individual choice, but it's a very difficult question to answer if you already have decided what you want to be, but you don't know why. Like for in my case, when I was doing photography for a long time, many years actually, before I thought कि इसको commercialize करते हैं, इसको profession बनाते हैं या इसको let's try and earn money from it. At that time, something changed. A lot of taboos get attached with it. Moment you do that, you lose your art, you'll become a machine, you'll think like a robot, you'll lose this, you lose that. But then that is a very individual process. Now, a lot of youngsters which I interact with on almost on a daily basis, a lot of people when I take classes, when I speak to a lot of students that I speak to, what I find is everybody wants to be what I am today. You know, a musician with a photographer, being a photographer, a Fauji being a musician, whatever. But they don't want to go through the journey which I've gone through. सबको मेरे आज में तो पहुंचना है, लेकिन वो जो रास्ता मैं तय करके आया उससे किसी को मतलब नहीं है. So there what happens is lot of people start with a lot of passion, but at the end it just fizzles out. So if you have a career which is going good for you, if you have like, for example, tomorrow if you become, you become a successful entrepreneur, you have a running business. So at that time, if you have time for yourself, if you think you can manage your art and your profession, just do that much only. It's not really important कि तुम्हें उसको commercialize या profession बनाना ही बनाना है. So you first have to decide कि ये photography जो मैं करता हूँ, like you guys do such amazing work. I've seen both of your pictures. At some point, you'll have to give it a very serious thought. Do I want to commercialize it also or no? Am I okay, with whatever I'm doing, getting pictures, weekend shoots, month end shoots? Do I really want to make it big and make it into a profession? Because ऐसा ना हो कहीं जाके ना तो आप इसमें अच्छे रह पाए ना उसमें अच्छे रह पाए. So that decision has to be a very individual choice. I made that decision mainly on two factors. One, I was obsessed with traveling. I did not have the money. I wanted to fund that. So at one point, I realized that I'm good in photography. Let me venture into weddings. Let's see how it is. So I shot the first 4 weddings free of cost. The 2 weddings free of cost. Second two, I literally took 10,000 a day, which I now pay to my assistants. People who come just as कि चलो आ जाओ एक आध घंटा शूट कर लो, which is also a good thing. But then I realized, अच्छा इससे तो मैं अपना travel fund कर सकता हूँ. So then I divided. Then I thought, okay, let's commercialize this. Let's create into a profession because I had a reason. And trust me, it's been what now? I don't do too many weddings. It's been about 7 years. I don't think I've spent a single penny from my salary to travel. That's all. That's my aim. And we have traveled more than Aarti, me, and before that, me alone, more than 40 odd countries. But not a single penny has gone from my salary. There's a reason which you have to find. If your reason is money and only money, then I don't think this is the domain that this is the reason with which you need to enter photography. Somewhere it has to have a journey. I had a journey. We'll come to that. How did it venture and where did I start? And that journey is very important. So right now, I think what you guys are going through is a beautiful journey. I think take out that seed of converting into a job. Let this journey happen. Trust me, automatically you'll come to that point where you say, no, I think it's good enough in the back end. So this is what I think should be the process for everyone. Should be, not
Right.
could be. Sorry, not should be.
Yeah. Right. So now to our next question. So what is your point of view for a creative career like photography, especially looking at the lockdown and sustainability in such situations?
This is the best time to be creative. I don't think I've ever had much more creativity, more desires to learn, more desires to explore than this. Matlab is this time that I spent last year, I don't, you guys would know better. I have learned how to, I've homed on to my need for my guitar sessions. I've started working on my writing again. I have never written so much, started reading so much. Photography though went crazy. I mean, we were doing shoots all throughout the day when we were in Delhi and now in here in Mouth throughout the day. But it's, well, your question also revolves again around profession. You use that word again. So which I think um, existing profession and you know and lockdown. If I have a profession which is taking care of my basic necessities, khana pina, ghar, and everything is taken care of, then though I think this is the best time to be creative. How, where, we can discuss that later and come to that, as a separate, you guys can work out a separate session as to how to be creative. But yeah, the reality also is that it's not been good for, it's not really helped a lot of people the way we as privileged people, that I call ourselves very privileged. A lot of my photographers who used to work with me pehle have no work because they at some point decided photography is their career and this is what they want to do and this is their life. When the lockdown happened, they fizzled out. Nothing to do, no shoots, no projects, and they were not really good at it. So then it takes you back to the first question where you have to decide whether you want to make it commercial or no. Maybe that decision was wrong. But you specifically asked for during lockdown, how is a creative career like photography? Um, there are good examples and bad. Um, Bad examples are people who are no longer into photography and have ventured out in a matter of no time. Good examples are personal projects. You know, this is the only time where you can move away from your comfort zone. As much mistakes as you can make, because that's the only way photography can teach you. I think a couple of times when I spoke to you, I said, "Is this the best you can do, Anand? And is this the photograph? If you think really this photograph can only be taken in this way, let's do something totally different. ये process ही मत कर." Usually, you can never do this if you have, a running, functioning world where you have a project to give or a deadline to meet or a person to please. Right now, you have just yourself. So I think creatively, so for example, what we did when the flights and all started, one of my friends and me, he flew down to Mau, and we spent 4 days only shooting abandoned, broken, dilapidated buildings of Mau. That's it. That's all we did. We didn't take any other, and we did each building in 5 different times of the day. सुबह एक दो घंटे बाद, फिर दोपहर, फिर शाम, फिर रात. And then that building had a story because it's a 200-year-old building. But then we went out digging for that story, meeting people who used to live there. So point is, now function on yourself. It's good that you guys are guiding people and telling them what to do, but at some point also introspect कि यार अब मैं ना ये चीजें सब हो गई. Now I have so much time. I think I need to divide, and I want to do projects which are purely and solely for myself. So I think that's one thing which I have been doing for last many months now. So I don't know whether this was the question. Did I answer it?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
think
perfect.
sustainability की चिंता मत करो. I don't think anyone in this Zoom session will be worrying about sustainability. Trust me. Anyone who's watching.
Yeah. So coming to the next question, it's one of the most discussed questions. A lot of people, when people are getting into photography, they'll say they don't have a good camera to cover up for the mistakes. And a lot of good photographers who have all the gear in the world say that, gear really doesn't matter. So what is your take on that? Do you think it does? And if it does, till what extent does your gear really matter?
So next time you ask that question to that successful guy with a good gear, ask him, did he reach there without the gear or with the gear? So the answer is there in the question itself. The gear is important, definitely important. But I'll tell you something very interesting. This is something I learned from a very renowned photographer. He's an Indian guy. I'm not taking any Angrezi naam. Vivek Singh is his name. One of the best documentary photographers for Northeast. He's been covering Northeast for the last decade plus. So he says that I asked him, there was a time when my first camera was a film camera with a bag of black and white roll, which came to me in a parcel in Ethiopia when I was in Ethiopia. Canon का था 500D या EOS 500D करके एक कैमरा होता था. सो एक प्लास्टिक के बैग में करीबन 50-60 रील्स आई थी. आई डिड नॉट नो इवन हाउ टू ऑपरेट द कैमरा. आई ऑनेस्टली डिड नॉट नो कि मैं करूं क्या इसके साथ. बट यू नो व्हाट दैट कैमरा डिड फॉर मी? इट ओपनड अप अ लिटिल डोर. So now I have a resource and I have a passion, which gradually I'll nurture. When did I upgrade my camera? I upgraded when I knew that now no one told me, no one said, no, this phone is not good enough for your photography, dude. You need a better camera. You need a Mark III now. If someone tells you that and you feel that you need it, it's not the right way. I think I mentioned this to Anand, if I'm not wrong, you or somebody else, that you will reach that point in your photography journey where you realize that now I am getting held back because of my camera gear.
Right.
If you've reached that level and automatically you start feeling held back and resistant, and you start feeling कि अब मुझसे ना ये I want to do this but my phone is not allowing me. I want to do a low light shot with a tight portrait, tight light, and I want to do a very dark portrait. My phone is not allowing me. It doesn't have the off camera thing. I can't, I want to manage light like this. I've understood how exposure works. I've understood how composite works, but it's not happening the way I wanted. Then automatically you've reached that place where you need to upgrade. Now, then how much of an upgrade then depends on how much budget you have, because then there's no end to it. So this is now all these people who say, "No, no, gear is not important. Art is important. Journey is, creativity is important." कोई भी क्रिएटिव पेंटर बिना ब्रश के पेंट नहीं कर सकता. अब वो ब्रश चाहे तुम झाड़ू से बनाओ या तुम बहुत फाइन रिफाइंड हेयर फ्रॉम इटली उससे बनाओ. एट द एंड इट इज व्हाट द painting is going to be looked at. When you take a picture, no one's going to ask you what your gear was. But if you didn't have the gear, that picture would have not been on the wall. It would have been in your mind. To convert that picture in your mind into reality in the way you imagine it, gear is important. But please don't just buy gear because gear will not give you that picture. That picture should give you the gear. If you have a picture and you're not able to create it because your gear is restricting you, it's time to upgrade. But if you see that picture on the wall, it's taken by a phone, and you find peace and calm inside. This is a beautiful picture. I am so happy. It's okay. कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. Trust me, there's a photographer you might like to follow him, Sefi Burgesson. He's an Israeli guy, lives in Delhi. He's done entire weddings with an iPhone. Entire weddings. See his pictures, you'll be amazed. Well, I the reality is also that he had a backup team doing proper photos with, because otherwise the bride would have hung him by the neck in the next room कि तुम मेरी शादी की तस्वीरें फोन से खींच रहे हो. But at the end, those pictures are stunningly gorgeous, just to prove that you can do it. But again, coming back to your question, is the gear important? Absolutely, but not because I say it, because you should feel it. If you're restricted, so I had uh, one was that, two, three, four. Fifth camera I bought was a Mark III. I graduated from that film camera to Nikon D40, then to D60, then to D90, and then I hired for 2 years. Then I bought a Mark III. So I kept understanding. अच्छा ISO नहीं चल रहा है. 40 पे ISO 500 के ऊपर बहुत ग्रेन देता है. Let's upgrade to 60. 60 लिया. अच्छा अब इसमें मुझे नहीं समझ. It's not. It has an on camera flash. It's not doing good. I don't need that pop thing to come up all the time. Let's upgrade to D90. So this is every time, and no one really told me you need to upgrade. I kept understanding. So there is a picture which is not here. It's in my office of a 6 years in Kashmir. I took one picture of a Kashmiri boy who was the son of my source. Source is somebody जो खबरें लाके देते हैं. So I wanted to take a picture of him early morning when he used to go out with a tree cutter to the jungle to cut wood for fire. But I did not have a zoom lens. I had a 35 mm ka fixed block lens. Ab I wanted to take it from far because the moment you go close, you lose that. At that time, okay, we'll leave that part. How I got my 7200 from Delhi to my post. It took me 6 days to get that lens to my post, and then I took that picture, which is hanging in my office. I think that was the best upgrade I did because I felt ये तस्वीर मेरे दिमाग में है, मुझे चाहिए ही चाहिए. But my equipment is not allowing me. So if anyone has a question like this कि क्या आप gear important है, so भाई absolutely है, but कब है ये बहुत जरूरी है. So the question should be, when is it time to upgrade? So
Thank you. That was very well said. I'm sure it'll give a lot of insight on when to buy the right gear. So, for our next and last question, what is your creative process and how has it evolved over the years? And what would be your advice to someone who wants to pursue a career professionally in visual media like film and photography?
my creative process, I don't really have one. I don't know if everyone has a creative process. I swear I don't. Um, if you call, so when I write, I do a lot of Urdu poetry. So when I write, if you say any writer has a creative process, if he goes into a room with lots of books and a chair and and a mood music being going on, no, I don't. I can write in a moving bus also, if it comes to me. So creative process is, I don't really have a fixed creative process, but yes, creative preparation is there. Creative preparation is, if I'm doing a wedding, for example, I was just shooting in Masuri, where I got my gift from the COVID that I got. So uske pehle, before I went to Masuri, I did a lot of prep. I Googled the entire property inside out. I got pictures and I spoke to the couple at least 50 times. And I always make a list of pictures I want in terms of angle, light, and composition. I imagine a picture and I write down at least 50-60 portraits जो मुझे खींचने हैं, provided of course a lot of dynamics की time दिया नहीं दिया मिला नहीं मिला, all that is fine, but my creative preparation is very 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 deep and very very to the point. So once I approach a project, even if I'm shooting for the army, I'll show you a picture which took me 30 minutes to take one photo, but I had prepared for that photo. So I did not have a creative process, but I had a creative preparation where I sat down before a shoot, thought about it for about an hour. Ki, what do I need? What are the pictures I want to take? What are the angles? What will look good? What will not look good? And then I made a list of around 100 shots. Of course, you take much more, but वो 100 होने चाहिए. Also, a little philosophy along with this. This will not happen in case you've not had that journey. So if you give examples of Renaissance painters and photographers from US and photographers from across the world, and you see their pictures, and if you've not seen any of these work, if you've not seen any of their pictures, and if you've not felt, a pain in your heart that why can't I do this? How does this guy do this? If you've not had that insecurity, if you only see, oh, this guy is such an amazing photographer, I want to be like this guy. Let me go and buy all that he has. He's had years of that journey. So it's important. The creative process is not a daily process. It's every goddamn day that you're living. You're breathing in your creativity every day. As much books as you can read, as much material. If you call yourself a photographer, trust me, I still don't. I make pictures. I'm not trying to sound cool or sound little modest. I actually don't. But I see at least 1,000 to 1,500 pictures a day of all these photographers who I follow, who are black and white artists or street artists, or even kids who do. There's a kid that I follow. He's amazing with his mobile camera shot. Anything, everything. कम से कम 1,500 तक तस्वीरें मैं रोज देखता हूँ. So all these big photographers, when I if at all I've read about them, you read about paintings and art and culture and all this. This dissolves in your blood, slowly dissolves in your system, and then you become what you are. So creative process is every day. For a particular shoot, creative preparation is what it works for me. Now I think you asked about again if it is a good career. Absolutely, it's a good career. If it is going to sustain you, absolutely. Depending how much money do you need to sustain yourself. Some people are not happy with 30 lakhs a month also, and some people are happy doing 2 shoots a month also. So you define your sustainability with your own self. But for you guys, I don't think there's a better, I genuinely don't think there's a better and a more evolved profession than this. आर्ट किसी भी फॉर्म में तुम्हें बेहतर ही बनाएगी, किसी भी फॉर्म में. म्यूजिक हो, पेंटिंग हो, फोटोग्राफी हो, कुछ भी हो, any form of it will always make you better. But then again, it takes you back to that question: is it sustainable art? Is it going to give me my bread and butter? So I don't think इस Zoom session में इस वक्त किसी को उसकी चिंता करने की जरूरत है. But since I know you are at the cusp of, you're on the, crossroads of your decisions. If you have the resources, if you have the backup, go for it. Don't think twice. But don't also be scared to lose and fall back. It's not a bad thing. Trust me, it's not. I've fell down and come back home crying so many times कि यार मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I have to go back to my resources, and I have this all that with me. Do I need to continue? So just hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Slight disturbance. So, coming back to what I was saying, that your sustainability, your career choices, everything, all those questions which give you fear, thoda sa, are all good. That fear is the best thing, trust me. It has kept me alive through 6 years in Kashmir. If you don't have the fear of what you're going to do, then somewhere down the line you're wrong. That fear is very important, but try and get that fear into a positive result. So to shortly answer your question, if this is a good career choice and if this is a profession to follow, yes, absolutely. Make all the mistakes you can now, so that tomorrow no one penalizes you financially for your mistakes. So this is the time to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. That was very insightful, and I'm sure everyone watching this has learned something or the other.
Yep.
We come to the
Thanks.
end of the interview. Thank you so much, Arun, for being with
Yeah.
us. And
This
before we proceed, just look at the link in our description box and make sure you go and donate to our crowdfunding campaign. We're doing it for the COVID situation in India. So make sure you do it and make sure you stay tuned for the upcoming sessions.
all right. Thank you so much. This was short.